Hi, I'm Heinbach, and it's good to have you back. I've been called the Bob Ross of ambient a bunch of times before, and that's a nice compliment, because one thing that Bob Ross embraced was the accident, the happy little accident, meaning turning mistakes into something that is actually beautiful. That is a technique that is very useful in playing live. Just play it twice or thrice and people would think you did it on purpose, but it's also incredibly useful in composition, especially if you're working with other musicians. Musicians, like all artists, have egos and certain ways in which they prefer to do things. That might get in the way when you're collaborating for the first time and you don't know what to expect from the other person. That is why I go looking for icebreakers, and happy accidents are perfect icebreakers. And I'm going to show you how I employ these in this video. I was asked by Amplify Berlin to pick 2 artists to mentor this summer. From a small mountain of submissions, I chose 2 I resonated with the most, Friday and Elsa Mbala. The goal was to create 1 track in the Amplify studio in 1 month. While the artist at the studio for the whole time, I was supposed to come in twice a week and help them on their journey. And this journey took us to truly beautiful places.
I got in 1 little fight, my mom got scared, she said, move it out,
And if you're far, your light shines.
I personally learned again a lot about music. It just never ends. So join me and the artists on our trip into sound.
Hello everyone, this is Zuzana, aka Friday.
Hello everybody, I am Elsa Mbala.
I come from Prague, I've been based in Berlin for almost 10 years now.
I am a sound artist from Cameroon.
The music I make is usually quite dark and slow.
The music I create is about journey towards myself, identity search.
There's a lot of vocals, synthesizers, bass, and lately also harp.
I love to work with samples, with electronic instruments. I am mentored by Heinbach, who has been so helpful in understanding why I struggle for so long to put the music I hear into the world in terms of music programs and grit. So we decided to work with no grit. Oh, es ist sogar schon drin.
Always be recording.
What?
Yeah.
The sound technician of the studio had warned us of the heater noise, and I took that warning as an invitation to employ this musically. Friday had prepared a lot of ideas for tracks, but then a happy accident happened. That little vibrating piece of steel became the basis and the bass of an entirely new track. And she played around with the arrangement, using the F keys in Ableton Live to mute and unmute tracks. I'm going through the footage of day 2 and realized I should have filmed a bit more, but I was really focused on the music. Elsa decided to rest the track we made the previous day and instead work on something new, and she really wanted to do something electronic. So she had brought her Moog Mother 32 and she also wanted to try the Dark Energy 3. So we hooked it up to Ableton Live and she improvised a fantastic melody that would be the most difficult thing, yet also the coolest thing of this track. We recorded it into Ableton Live and I kind of figured it was a 5/4 measure, but that might have been a little bit untrue because we struggled to get all the other things when layering it into the track. And Elsa said that this is something that happens to her often. It's hard to put the rhythmic ideas she has into the digital audio workstation. These interlocking kind of grooves, when you've got the grid, they can be a bit difficult to realize. So the best thing for this would have been, instead of turning on the grid, would have been to completely turn it off.
Yeah,
But in the end, through some trickery, we managed to find something that shone beautifully. Susanna had already worked further on her layout for her track and also came up with a beautiful piano melody. We recorded that on the piano and I used the Ableton Slice to Harmony, MIDI harmony function to turn it into a synth track. It's good! The happy sad.
I really like it because I have some songs that will be on the album that are more sad than happy, and it's good to have something. Maybe I should like tap into this contrast with more of my songs there.
On day 3, disaster struck. Well, nothing too bad, but anyone making art and has a kid can probably relate, because Elsa's kid got a snotty nose and had to go home from kindergarten. So she had to cancel that session and also today's, which is a pity because she'd already started work on a third song. And set a new goal for herself to record an EP during Amplify. Friday, aka Susanna, had started work on the most important part of her song, the melody and the lyrics. Feel natural.
Oh.
27 forever till the end of times. You told me you'll never leave me. We like each other loves. When I'm with you, I feel impeccable.
There's like a variation on the chorus here that's not as good as the original chorus, like not as like lifting. And then you get like two different bridges, I think, right?
Just wanted to have a nice variation in the in the verses, so it's not the same.
What I really like is this.
27 forever till the end of times.
This comes only once.
Okay.
This is too good not to be repeated. Because you notice how the chorus falls down into that? This is much better than...
So we could take more of this into the second verse.
Forever. You could start the second verse with that again. Forever, that's what you told me. And then you go into the consequence of that. And then you go 27 forever, that's what you told me. And then the consequence is slightly different in the second verse.
Yeah.
You know? And then you can do the chorus, and I think that's enough variation. Variation is best always after you've repeated something. Because there's no
Right,
need, yes,
okay.
there's no need to vary anything that you haven't repeated. 1, 2, and on the 3 you change. You can count most jokes in comedy with that. What's the conflict?
This song is not about conflict because most of my other songs are somehow
No, but
very
no, but
conflicty.
no. I mean, conflict doesn't mean like there has to be like a fight. There has to be something that makes it the contrast again. So, what's like the story?
27 forever till the end of times.
This is what you said to me. This is what happened.
But the thing is that what he said should happen.
Yeah, but then you make
My
like the
best friend.
but then the world comes in, you know?
I know what you mean. And I have an idea. I also took your advice for the contrast, as you could hear in the chorus. Because when I sing about pulling up, I'm going down.
Yeah, yeah.
And Calm Me Down, I'm going more like from the upper part.
If we do like the double chorus in the end, you could then go the right way and have your like little laugh with that, because these are things are really fun to deny expectations and then to solve them. After a short break, it was finally time to start work on the drums, and we picked the analog Rhythm by Electron for that. I felt the need to refine the sound, so I started to mix the track a bit. The main plugins that I used were by my friends from Audio Thing. Outer Space, their Space Echo clone, was something Susanne immediately fell in love with. I used wires to add depth and textures to the synthesizer parts, and for the harp, a little motor plugin that I developed with them.
We like each other loves. When I'm with you, I feel impeccable. I always pull you up, you always pull me down.
We are going to continue our journey in part 2. And if you don't want to miss it, you have to ring that bell down here, else you won't get notified. It's just how YouTube works these days. So thank you all for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye.